Hello. Welcome to Thursday Night Live.
Thursday Night Live is here
with your Prayer Valley sisters. We'll wait a little bit.
Cheers.
Cheers. We'll wait a little bit.
Our mom made this for us.
We have no one. Is anyone on? No one. No one's live.
So it's not notifying.
Oh,
it just notified me right now.
Oh, we got one person watching. Hi, Beth.
As we were saying just a little bit ago, we were saying cheers.
Thanks, Mom.
And that our mom made this for us. So good. Shout out to Pastor Beth for being like the best mom you've ever met in your life.
So true.
So excited to be here. I'm going to see.
Thursday Night Live.
Yep. Hear us. Hear our annoying voices.
Yeah.
How is everybody doing?
Are you guys blessed and highly favored? How's your week going? Good? Yeah?
Oh.
Can't hear you, so.
Blessings.
Oh. Well, hello. I see Sister Michelle is on. Good to see you.
Michelle and Pastor Beth.
Oh.
Pastor Lisa. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes. I forgot to post about today. I posted a God is Good reel.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, because he is.
All the time.
I was like,
all the
God
time.
is good.
Oh, Pastor Beth is so blessed. She's so blessed. I'm so blessed.
Okay. Debbie. Hey, girl. Happy week. Happy Thursday. All right. I wanted to wait as long as I could to make the announcements because there's so many. But you can always go back on, check the website, prayervalleyfamily.com, the Facebook, Prayer Valley Church. Everything's on there. So let's start with this Saturday at 10 a.m., and that's the 11th. Women of the Valley is going to be happening at Prayer Valley Church.
Have a special speaker.
Very special speaker.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a secret.
I don't know either, but she's special, so.
I want to say who it is, but maybe I shouldn't. Let's just keep the anticipation going. Anyways, that's at 10 a.m. this Saturday. Come fellowship, come hang out. There's going to be coffee, so that's always a blessing in itself. And then on the 17th, which is a Friday at 6 p.m., there's going to be a youth bonfire. That's for kids 12
to 16.
12 to 16 is, so oldies, youngies, nope, just 12 to 16. Come hang out. That's going to be at 6 p.m. at the church.
We're going to have dinner. We're going to have some good food.
There's going to be snacks and games, and
it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a bonfire.
Encourage your youth to go because it's so important to have your youth hanging out and involved with like-minded youth. It's so important because iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
So it's smart to get them together as much as possible.
Plugged into the youth program. Come to the church. We see so many young people breaking through and just worshiping, and it's so cool. And it's good to see them come, and let's invite all of them. Some of them don't come a lot, so make sure to push your youth to come.
Invite your friends. When I was in youth, I'm not going to brag, but I am going to brag. When I was in youth, I had it full. We always had it full. We would
always bring our friends.
They would spend the night at our house on Saturday, come to church with us the next day. They knew they spent the night, they were going to church.
Yep.
Because we went to church on Sunday,
as
we do still. Anyway, so that's happening. Okay, now on the 25th at 10 a.m., Breaking Chains is going to be going on. That's going to be so much fun. They're getting back to doing it every month now. So if you're like, oh, what do I do on a Saturday at the end of the month? Oh, go to Breaking Chains. Go hang out with your brothers and sisters in Christ. It's so important to hang out as adults with like-minded individuals, with people who share your values. It's important to, and it's early, so it's not like the whole day, your whole day is not going to be ruined, and it's literally once a month. So just like go hang out, get fed, fellowship, and then on the 1st of February is going to be our third hangout, couples hangout.
I was like, what hangout? I was like, what?
Our third couples hangout. So that's happening at 4 p.m. at Michael and Rebecca Hand's house.
How fun.
So fun. I'm not going to blast their address. So just see her on Sunday or message her, and then she'll probably post it in our group we have as well for the couples. We have a couples group. So that's going to be so much fun. So yes, lots going on. So much going on, so much to fill our time, so much to do, and it's so important to get involved, get active in your local church. And if your local church is Prairie Valley, get active in it, do things.
Yes.
Get excited about it. Shouldn't be like I have to do this on Saturday. Nope, it should be like, oh my gosh, I get to do this on Saturday at 10 a.m.
How exciting.
I get to go do this. I get to fill my life with
like-minded individuals.
Yeah, with God's people. And that was one
Fellowship.
of the commandments that Jesus gave, was to love people. Love them.
Is it one?
Not a 10 commandment. It was one of the commandments Jesus gave.
Where at? Just kidding.
He said to love your neighbor. So he said that's what it's all about. Love your brothers and sisters. That's why we do it. Honestly, if we're being like really honest, if I was living in the flesh, I wouldn't like a lot of people, and probably a lot of people wouldn't like me either. But I don't, I die to my flesh daily.
Yeah,
So
it's a daily battle.
that
It's
way,
a daily fight.
I love people, so I can love people.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'd be like, oh my God, annoying. Oh my God, that person braked in front of me. Annoying. Oh my God, they gave me 3 chicken strips and a 4th, not even a chicken strip. It's, what do you call this, a chicken strip?
They double charged me at Walmart.
Yeah, annoying. So we have to die to our flesh. Yeah, so that was one of the,
Excuse me.
to love people. I mean, speaking of commandments, that's what we're talking about.
What?
Yeah, we're talking about the 10 commandments. How many of you know them
By heart.
by heart off the top of your head?
Because if you don't,
Let's see.
it's okay.
If you don't, it's okay.
Because we also didn't know him
No.
by heart.
We're learning them.
We are learning them, though.
Just like I'm learning the scriptures that we've been posting. I'm memorizing those scriptures.
Yes. It's something we just been discussing. We're like, we should, because we memorize scripture as like, we were talking about the 10 Commandments.
On Sunday, we were just talking about this, and she was like, I really need to memorize them.
And I said, I need to memorize them.
Me too.
I'm gonna, because I'm gonna teach the youth are gonna learn these, and they're gonna know them by heart as well.
Because they're important.
They're important.
Even though Jesus came and he did fulfill the law, they're still important. They're still something that we should base our lives on.
Yes.
So, what are they? What are the 10 Commandments? Let's go over them.
We'll start with the first.
Yeah.
Number 1.
You shall have no other gods before me.
Yep. Thou shalt.
Thou shalt.
Thou shalt. It's
Thou thee thy, though gods. No, so that's number 1. You shall have no other gods before me. Number 2, I'm dumbing it down because for myself, not for you guys. And for myself.
Same.
Number 2, you shall not make idols. And I'm sure it says, thou shalt not maketh idoleth, But I'm going to say you shall not make, or, don't make idols. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't, girl.
Don't do it. Number 3. Okay, so this one is like, I wrote down 2 for you, so it was like, you shall not misuse the Lord's name. You shall not take the Lord's name in vain. Yes,
Yeah.
that's number 3. Number 4, remember and keep the Sabbath holy. Number 5, this is important.
Did you skip 3?
No, you shall not misuse.
Okay, just double checking, everyone.
Did I?
No, you didn't. You said it.
Okay, number
4.
5.
Did you say 4?
I said number 4. Number 4, Remember and keep the Sabbath holy. That's number 4.
There you go.
Number 5, honor your father and mother. That's important.
Ooh.
That's important.
Ooh.
Number 6, don't murder.
Don't do it.
Don't murder.
Don't kill.
Thou shalt not murder. Number
be
7, don't commit adultery.
Mm.
Number 8, don't steal. Thou shalt not steal. Number 9, do not bear false witness against your neighbor. Number 10, don't covet. Now there's like, of course, more in the, and so you can find these in Exodus 23 through 17. He has, there's a bunch of different, what is it called? Translations and variations of, I like to read the simplest, and then I like to go back and read like the most complicated as well. I like a variety, but you can go back and read them. So what are they for? What are the 10 Commandments for? Why? What are they for? So they were given to Moses from God as like a way to live.
There was order needed.
Yeah.
There was chaos. There was these people. They were just wandering. They were just out there.
Yeah, they had to be told like not to eat each other. So that's pretty chaotic.
I mean, like he wasn't even gone that long to get the 10 Commandments. And they're like, oh, he's gone. I'm just gonna build a golden calf and start worshiping that instead. Like it didn't take them very long. So they needed rules. People do need rules, I feel like. I mean, you wouldn't think we need like red lights and stop signs to tell people like, oh, you can go. But have you ever seen one of those red lights go out and people just stop learning how to drive?
I don't know how to drive even with them, and I need them.
So that's why we need laws.
I definitely need them. So so given to Moses from God as a way to live that is pleasing to God. So like, of course you can just run amok, but this is the way to please God, by following the 10 Commandments. And it's still important that we do that today. Okay, why are they still important even though Jesus came and fulfilled the law when he died on the cross? Mm-hmm. Because we strive to be Christ-like as Christians. Like that's like what, like we love God, we love people. That's what we're here to do. We're here to be Christians. We're here to be Christ-like.
It's in the title.
How are we going to be Christ-like?
Yeah.
By following the 10 Commandments.
Exactly.
By following the commandments of the Lord. So
I mean, Jesus did it. He followed the 10 Commandments.
We slip up. He did. That I have that in here.
Oh, wow.
I have that in here written down. It says, sometimes we slip, but ultimately these are to help us because they provide an outline, like a guide, of how to live a righteous life, and Jesus modeled them. Mm-hmm. Jesus, while he was here walking around, he followed them. He modeled them. He is an example. He shows us an example of how to live them out. So, like, if you look to him,
mm-hmm.
to live them out. In the New Testament, they're like a moral compass. They're Old Testament, but they are New Testament. Jesus, that's how you can correlate them.
Yeah, he encompassed them.
He
lived them.
Yeah, they're full.
And we are to live like him.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Wow,
yeah.
wow. Look at that.
Yeah. So
on the same, right there. Look at that. It must be God.
The New Testament reiterates them. That's what it does. So like you get them solid in stone. And then the New Testament just like reiterates them. It just like verse after verse talks about them in the new covenant as well. So it's like we think, oh, the old covenant, it's all done away with. The law is done away with. No, it's not. It's still very much present. Like we're not like damned. Like we're not like damned to hell if we're not going to like follow these rules. Like we don't have to go sacrifice a lamb every time we mess up because Jesus fulfilled that. He was our sacrificial lamb.
Well, just like, what was it? Pastor Matt said, he's like, the speed limit's 65, but some of you go 70. You speed a little. Lawbreakers. I don't. I can tell you right now, I go the speed limit. But I mean, just like that, that we all fall short.
Yeah, so sometimes, we mess up and stuff, but this is what we should be like. I base my life, like, I stand on the Word of God. So, like, that's where you can base your, like, the world can do what they want, but I'm going to base my values on these. And so, and we do the world does actually follow them. Like, it's kind of like built in within us, a conscience.
I mean, murder. I think people know that's bad.
Most of the time, you have a conscience. Most of the time,
That
even the world does, like, they follow them and they don't really know. So it's like, of course, we are going to follow them as Christians. But, so, in Matthew, let's see. In Matthew 6:24, it says, "You cannot serve two masters at the same time. You will hate one and love the other, or you will be loyal to one and not care about the other. You cannot serve God and money at the same time." So that just reiterates there will be no other gods before God. You cannot serve two masters. That's New Testament. So that goes with, you shall have no other gods before me. Number 2. What was number 2? You shall not make idols. So if we go to 1 Corinthians 10, 19 through 22, it talks about how, no, is it 1 Corinthians 10? Maybe it was 9. Maybe it was 9 through 22. Let me look. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 10, 19 through 22. Okay, yes, 1 Corinthians 10, 19 through 22, it reiterates. So am I saying that sacrifices to idols are the same as those Jewish sacrifices? No, because an idol is nothing, and the things offered to idols are worth nothing. But I am saying that when food is sacrificed to idols, it is an offering to demons, not to God. And I don't want you to share anything with demons. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and then go drink a cup that honors demons. You cannot share a meal at the Lord's table and then go share a meal that honors demons. Doing that would make the Lord jealous. Do you really want to do that? Do you think we are stronger than he is? So that just like solidifies the thou shalt not make false idols. Thou shalt not. I mean, and also we think of idols as like the golden calf. We think that that's a false idol. But there are so many things that can be idols in our life. Things that you wouldn't even consider to be an idol could be an idol. Your relationship, your food addiction, your phone, your cell phone, things that, anything that kind of takes the place of God, that where he should be in your life, that's an idol. Number 3, you shall not take the Lord's name in vain. So if we go to Matthew 5, 34 through 37, it says, Matthew 5, 34 through 37, it says, "But I tell you, when you make a promise, don't try to make it stronger with a vow. Don't make a vow using the name of heaven, because heaven is God's throne. Don't make a vow using the name of the earth, because the earth belongs to him. Don't make a vow using the name of Jerusalem, because it also belongs to him, the great king. And don't even say that your own head is proof that you will keep your promise. You cannot make one hair on your head white or black. Say only yes if you mean yes, and say only no if you mean no. If you say more than that, it is from the evil one." And I was like giggling during that. But so that's like saying, like, don't use God's name don't use God's name just to use like God's name, because it sounds like, it sounds like, people will take you more serious if you're using, if you're putting God in there. But also I used to always think like saying, bad words with God. And we shouldn't say that. We shouldn't. Because I think that the way we talk should, what is that word? So say you're from the South and you talk like that. People are like, oh, you're from the South. Mm-hmm. So how we talk, people will be like, oh, you're a Christian. You know what I mean? Which I'm dealing with that personally.
Yeah.
Of saying certain words that we shouldn't. I'm a citizenship. My citizenship is, not of this world. Mm-hmm. And so I should talk like that. Mm-hmm. But I think there's more to it than that, like just saying, God, I think that it goes like there's more than just that as well.
Just instead of cursing
not misusing his name.
But like all slandering it. Yeah.
And then number 4, remember and keep the Sabbath holy. That you can, so if you turn to Matthew 12, 11 through 12, it says, Jesus answered, if any of you has a sheep and it falls into a ditch on the Sabbath day, you will take the sheep and help it out of the ditch. Surely a man is more important than a sheep. So it is right to do good on the Sabbath. So he just it says, what is it? Honor or remember and keep the Sabbath day holy.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Yeah. So
6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Yes. So it is right to do good on the Sabbath. That's Jesus. So that's Exodus, what you read. That's Exodus what?
20. 8 through 11.
8 through 11. This is Matthew 12, 11 through 12. All the way, how many years later?
I've asked my nephew Braxton to do something on Sundays, and he goes, no, because it's Sabbath.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got me there. I guess I'll ask you Monday.
You got me. Okay. Number 5. Honor your father and mother. So we go to Matthew 19. Matthew 19:19. It says, I have it highlighted. It says, the man asked, which ones? Jesus answered, number 19. You must respect your father and your mother and love your neighbor the same as you love yourself. That's Jesus talking there.
There's Ephesians chapter 6. You go to Ephesians chapter 6. But I want to see it in that translation.
Okay. Ephesians 6.
And I think it's 1 through 4.
Yeah. Children, obey your parents the way the Lord wants, because this is the right thing to do.
Ooh.
Wow. The command says, you must respect your father and mother. This is the first command that has a promise with it. Ooh. And this is the promise. Then all will go well with you, and you will have a long life on the earth. Oh.
That's good.
Fathers, don't make your children angry, but raise them with the kind of teaching and training you learn from the Lord.
Yeah.
So good.
That is good.
Love that. And that's in the New Testament. So let's see. Number 6.
Yeah, number 6. I was going back to 5.
Don't murder. Thou shalt not kill. So it says, let's see. Romans 13, 9 through 10. Let me look. I wasn't going to write all these down, so that's why I'm just looking them up, because that's a lot of writing. So I was like, I'll just look at them up in the Bible and I'll read them. Romans 13, 9. Romans 13, 9. It says, the law says you must not commit adultery. You must not commit murder. Oh, okay. So Romans 9. I'm going to read 8 too. I wrote that here. These ones, so it's like 6, 7, 8.
I have one for thou shalt not kill.
Okay.
It says 1 John 4:20. And it says, if anyone says, I love God, yet hates his brother, he is a liar. For anyone who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
In Romans 13, 8 through 10, it says, you should owe nothing to anyone except that you will always owe love to each other. The person who loves others has done all the law commands. The law says you must not commit adultery. You must not murder anyone. You must not steal. You must not want what belongs to someone else. All these commands and all of their commands are really only one rule. Love your neighbor the same as you love yourself. And that's what we were talking about earlier. Love doesn't hurt others. So loving is the same as obeying all the law. So that covers all the way to, so let's read those over. Don't commit adultery. Don't steal. I do have a different one for do not bear false witness against your neighbor. And that's in Luke 18:20. Let's see. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Luke 18:20. And it says, Luke 18:20, double checking. And you know his commands. You must not commit adultery. You must not murder anyone. You must not steal. You must not tell lies about others. You must respect your father and mother. Oh, that was just reiterating what I had just read, but just in a different verse.
Thou shalt not bear false witness. And then it says there are 6
Is it
things.
in Ephesians?
What?
What is thou shalt not bear false witness? That one's number 9, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is that one in Ephesians? Is there yeah, read that one.
This one and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Yeah.
And then I have one that says, I think it's Proverbs 6:16, and it says, there are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: a false witness who pours out lies, and a man who stirs up dissension among brothers.
Ooh, I don't like them either. Anyways, okay, so that is just really just, what is that word I'm looking for? It's like when confirming them. Like if they're in the New Testament, if they weren't like if they were something to be done away with, Jesus would have came and said like, be done away with them.
Yeah.
Thou.
Yeah.
You know? But he came and he modeled them.
He took them.
He lifted them out.
And he lifted them out and he showed us how to live like him. How to do it, you know, and like I always he didn't throw them out.
And I was just thinking today like about that, and I was just like, oh man, he was like perfect and people still did not like him. And it's like, I'm like not perfect. And I'm like, how do I expect, like, he was perfect. He was like, he was so loving and so kind, and people still just like were, you know, like, if I could get my hands on those people that did that to him. But anyways, that just, he was, you know, he was one of a kind. We love Jesus so much.
Well, God, it says God has given us the new covenant where the standard of holiness is higher still. The standard is not changed. Consider these New Testaments below, and it says, he that despised Moses' laws died without mercy under 2 to 3 witnesses. Of how much sore punishment shall be thought worthy? Who hath trodden under foot of the Son of God, and hath counted the blood of the covenant, whereas he was sanctified an unholy thing, and hath done despite unto the grace. That's Hebrews 28 and 29. That is like, I'm in like King James, so if you want to look that up, it'll probably be more understandable.
I'm going to look it up.
Hebrews 10, 28 to 29.
Hebrews. Okay.
10, 28, and 29.
whoever refused to obey the law of Moses was found guilty from the testimony given by 2 or 3 witnesses. Such people were not forgiven. They were killed. So think how much more punishment people deserve who show their hate for the Son of God. People who show they have no respect for the blood sacrifice that began the new agreement and once made them holy, or who insult the Spirit of God's grace. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. And then, like, she was talking about Romans, and Romans 13:8, it does go on to say that, for he had loveth another, that he hath fulfilled the law. He had come to fulfill the law, that he loved us so much. And so I just want you guys to reflect on those. Like, yes, they're Old Testament, but they have such a powerful meaning in our lives today. That this law, like, he fulfilled it, yes, but because we love him so much, don't we want to be like him and keep carrying these laws and following his walk, basically?
Well, being Christ-like.
Yeah.
That's, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
Being Christ-like.
It's in the name. It's in the title. Christian, Christ
follower.
Christ follower. There you go.
Yeah. And we want to do what he did. So
that's pretty much all I have. Now that there's more people on, I'm going to go over the announcements again so you guys know.
Anyway, we'll memorize the 10 Commandments because we're going to memorize them. You guys memorize them. Memorize the memory verses that we're posting.
Yeah.
Get them in, write them on the tablet of your heart. I've memorized them, both of them already. So you're welcome. But so Saturday at 10 a.m., Women of the Valley. That's the 11th.
Yeah.
Friday, the 17th, Youth Bonfire.
Woo.
That's at 6 p.m. That's ages 12 to 16. Be there. That's going to be at the church. It's going to be fun. January 25th, that's a Saturday at 10 a.m., Breaking Chains. Be there. Show up. Get the word. Fellowship. Hang out. Get involved. Then Couples Hangout is going to be the first at 4 p.m. at the Hands house. Not Rick and Michelle's, Rebecca and Michael's house. The Hands. I'll give you guys their address soon. Also, Sunday morning at 9 a.m.
Yep.
Prayer Valley Church is having a morning service. So show up. It's 14172 Avon Ave. Come fellowship. You can fellowship before church, but just come worship God. Come worship the Lord. Come hear the word. I know Pastor has something awesome. And pray for your pastors. And also, we're praying for California.
Yes.
I'm so devastated. I just cannot stop watching the news because it's just so sad. And I know we want to be like, oh, California, our own celebrities, but it's still heartbreaking. And so we're praying for California. We're standing in agreement, that God will turn this around and it'll be for his good. You know what I mean? Like it'll be, maybe lives will be changed. Maybe hearts will be changed. So praying for Pastor always as well.
Pray for both our pastors.
Yeah.
Keep them in your prayer.
Prayers.
Not just one prayer.
Have a good Thursday night and a good rest of the week. Love you guys. Bye.